The Last of Us Season 1 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important. If you are caught up to the point where I am at rewatching or watching The Last of Us, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention as well as put in the description for you. If that happens to be the case, so you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. In my history with The Last of Us, I never played either of The Last of Us games. The reason why I'm watching and reviewing the show is because the trailer for the season looked pretty awesome, and there's a couple people that have seen every episode already, and they have nothing but good things to say about the episode, and they say it's the best video game adaptation they've ever seen. So it caught my eye, I was interested, and I'm watching the show. With that said, this is going to be The Last of Us Season 1, Episode 7. The title of this episode is called Left Behind. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. Following the last episode, Ellie has managed to get Joel to this house, and she wants to do something to help Joel with his wound that looks like it's going to be life-threatening. And Joel actually tells Ellie to leave. Get away. I don't want to hurt you. Let me die. Don't let me hurt you when I die. And Ellie tells Joel to shut the fuck up. Now, Ellie goes up the stairs and she's thinking, and then we have a flashback. Now, at first, I didn't know what this was. What I saw was a bunch of females in a gym class. This was before Marlene had Ellie held captive, and shortly before Ellie was infected. She talks to this. She gets this girl knocks her Walkman headphones off of her, and Ellie decks her, and then she's talking to, I'm not sure who the guy was, just maybe somebody higher up, like a warden or something like that, even though he's not a warden, it's not a prison. And he says that he sees leadership capabilities in Ellie, and she just wants her Walkman back. And then Ellie's in her room, there's an empty bed in her room, and she's reading a comic book, and then the lights go out. And then as she's sleeping, someone sneaks into Ellie's room through her window, and it turns out it's her friend, her best friend, Riley, who says she joined the Fireflies. She's been gone for 3 weeks, so Ellie actually thought she was dead. So she ends up going with Riley, because she wants to have a good time, to a building. And then they go up 7 flights of stairs, and there's a dead guy. He wasn't there last night when Riley was there, at least that's what she says. He actually has a bottle of alcohol, and of course they drink some of it. And then Ellie asks Riley if that's the first dead body she saw, and Riley says, no, my parents. And Ellie's like, oh yeah, duh. And Ellie wants to hold Riley's gun, so she lets her do that. And Riley says one night when Ellie was in the hole, this chick popped up out of nowhere, asked her some things, and then she was brought into the Fireflies. So they walk across roofs of these buildings. It's not much space in between, so it's nothing that they're in danger walking across. And they go to the mall, even though it was sealed off. Riley actually is able to get the power on inside the mall as Ellie sees the mall, and I think she's like in awe because I don't believe, in fact, Ellie's never seen a mall before. She hasn't seen a lot of things. So we have electric stairs. No, it's an escalator. Of course, Ellie's never seen one of those before. And Ellie actually trips and almost falls off the escalator, but Riley's able to save her before that happens. But she says, I was cool, I was good. And then they actually stop at Victoria's Secrets. First time Ellie's ever seen Victoria's Secrets. They're looking at this, I don't know if it lingerie, and Riley's just thinking about what Ellie would look like. Imagine what she would look like wearing that. And it's obvious at this point that Ellie kind of has a thing for Riley. I don't know if everybody else that doesn't have anything to do or never have played or watched the game before, that's what I got. So Riley says to Ellie, close your eyes, and to hold her hand, and she leads her to a working carousel / merry-go-round thing inside of the mall. So they go on this merry-go-round for a few minutes, and then it stops. And then Riley actually tells Ellie that she turns 17 next month. Now, I don't know if Ellie already knew this or not, but that's what she tells her. And then they go into a photo booth. They take a bunch of photos, and one of them Ellie says isn't bad, and Riley says, you can keep it. And then Riley takes Ellie to the arcade, and it's the most beautiful thing she's ever seen, because Ellie's never been to an arcade before. Mortal Kombat 2 time. I always liked Mortal Kombat 2. I wasn't like a Mortal Kombat 2, fanatic. I didn't play it a lot. I had it for Sega Genesis. I played it, 3 or 4 times a week for like 3 months. I was always good with Reptile. But anyway, Riley is the Mortal Kombat expert, as she's had lots of practice. As they play the game, there's actually someone in the mall infected by the cordyceps fungal infection, or cordyceps virus. So Ellie and Riley at that point almost kiss, but they don't. And then Riley is the one with the no pun intended volume 2 book. And then they read some of the puns in there. How does a computer get drunk? It takes screenshots. That was pretty funny. And then Marlene, of course, is the one who let Riley join the Fireflies. Riley tells Ellie that tonight's going to be her last night in Boston. And Riley wanted to say goodbye. This isn't easy, Ellie. And then Ellie, of course, is mad. And Ellie's going to leave. And she's going back out the way they came in. But then she stops and turns back around. And then finds Riley again. And we find out, of course, again, for the second time that she mentions that Riley is actually Ellie's best friend. And she'll miss her. And Riley still wants to have some fun. As she's still there until night. And then Riley puts on this evil clown mask, and it seems like Ellie is wearing a werewolf mask, I think. I'm not 100% sure if it was a werewolf mask. And Ellie says, don't go. They take their masks off, and then they finally kiss. I was beginning to think it wasn't going to happen. I mean, it was pretty obvious that it was going to. And this at least I find out in the after the episode comments for the people that made the show, Neil Druckmann and company, that's Ellie's first kiss. And then a clicker, the one that was infected by the cordyceps virus, comes out of the fun house. A not super advanced clicker, obviously. It's kind of maybe a newer whatever. And the clicker attacks Ellie and Riley. And that's where Ellie gets bit on the arm. And actually we find out that Riley is also bitten on the left hand, right around there. And then we're back to present time, at least for a moment. Ellie is trying to find anything that she can help Joel with. Anything that would be able to, help him and possibly make him live. And then we quickly go back to the past at that place, at the mall. And Ellie is getting bitten. She's mad. She's angry. She's breaking things. And Riley's like really chill and tells her that we've got 2 options. We could take the easy way out and shoot themselves, or they could just keep going. And then when they die, they die. Obviously, we know that nothing happens to Ellie, and she's got some sort of great, amazing blood, and we don't know exactly what happens to Riley at this point. Maybe we do find out. But Ellie and Riley hug, and then it's back to the present time, and Ellie actually finds a needle and thread to use for Joel and begins to sew him up as the episode ends. So I was a little bored at times through this episode, especially the beginning parts. I even stopped it and walked away for like 3 or 4 minutes just to not pay attention to something. But as the episode went on, it did get better. I would say once they got to the arcade, that's when things got interesting for me. I'm going to score this one an 8.1 out of 10. I know you video game fanatics of the show will probably say this is a 10 out of 10. And hey, as somebody that never played the video game before and doesn't really know a lot about it, this is what I'm giving it. It's still a good show, but some of these episodes, they drag a little bit. And things have been changing since the original episodes to now. So, I don't know, it's a little bit different, but it's still entertaining. And my character of the episode is going to be Riley. Of course, you can give it to Ellie as well. I mean, she did phenomenal in this episode. But Riley was pretty awesome. And I hope we see Riley again. I hope that's the case. Whether it be this season or next season. I hope we're not done with that character. So you've heard everything I have to say about the episode. Now, of course, it's your turn. If you're a fan of The Last of Us and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please consider smashing that like button. Hulk smash that like button. It does help out. Even if I got 3 or 4 more likes a video, it does get the video out there to more people. More people, maybe like me, that haven't played the game at all. Share the video with anybody you know. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of The Last of Us. What would you rate the episode? And whom, if you had to choose, would be your character of the episode? And if you want to point out things that I missed because I never played the game, you can definitely do that in the comment section. I won't take offense to it. Let me know if there's some details that I didn't understand because I've never played The Last of Us games and know very little about them. And of course, last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel. You're watching the video anyway. Join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.